during the duration of the investigation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And if you could also give visiting privileges to my colleague here, Michael.
Sure. How many we're talking about?
Mrs. Stewart?
Yes.
Just
Lieutenant
your
Colombo
gentleman,
from police
I
about
believe,
report you made of a shooting.
Mark is his name?
Oh, yes, come in.
Who is it, Helen?
It's the
No, Mike.
police,
Michael
Mother.
Hunt, yes.
We're just
Do you
having
have anybody else you need to, that'll be working with you?
Yes, we do have a small group of us.
All right.
It's
All right.
out of character. It's what? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of us.
Okay.
5.
Are just you and Dr. Hunt, or what's your medical level, Carl?
3.
3?
Oh, mine's 2.
Oh, 2.
Yours
Mine's
is 2?
3.
Yeah.
Okay. You
So
qualify for a
we're-
doctor.
Yeah, we're the doctors, but we do have others that.
Okay,
if we
so
need
we will give you and Dr. Hunt visiting physician privileges, and they can be, we'll give them visitors badges as part of your entourage.
Thank you.
Okay. If you could report to me in about a week with your progress in your investigation, I would appreciate it. Would you concur that the next step is to call the police now and see what they say?
I'd almost be interested in checking out where she resided, where she lived. Because once we get everybody else involved, it could become somewhat of a spectacle with a baby being born after a day and aging to death in a day.
As soon as the police are involved, the media is going to be all over it.
Sure.
So if the hospital's against the media finding out right away, then they need to let us investigate first.
Where you could ask His Grace for an official sanction. And that way they cannot talk about what happens. To invoke the Official Secrets Act. You are aware, my lord.
Let's hold off on that for now.
Okay, I can give you 24 hours. We can legally. I don't have to report them the 24 hours. The regulation is designed for us to get a handle on infectious diseases and other similar situations. So they give us a 24-hour grace period until we have to actually are forced to notify the authorities.
Okay, just let me know when you do, so I can try and invoke the secrecy.
Of course, my lord, you can countermand that on your own authority if you choose. But that I can't ask you for that. It depends on what you think.
Right. So just before you report it, let me know so we can determine where we're at to determine if we need what level of what we need.
Very well. Okay. He leaves you be, and Dr. Amanda will be at your disposal for tonight. And she smiles and says, I have your tissue samples here. Anything further you would like to do?
Do you think we could get a location of residence or any information we can pull on the mother would be useful?
Your friend Dr. Hunt seems to have more than what we do. We don't have any. All she is, they give her the same address you guys found already.
Alright. I think we'll be going for now.
Since we're doctors working on the case, can we pull her medical file?
Sure. And all they have is what she...
all the time she's...
okay. So, her previous medical record is that basically she had a lower middle class upbringing until she left home at 16, and after that, she only had like a handful of visits. Doc, very typical pattern of somebody who has fallen to living on the street. And twice she was treated for venereal.
Does it list an address for her in the file? Since I didn't find one, I just found a name.
I'm sorry, I wasn't clear. You did find an address. She has a last known address.
Okay.
I just didn't give you a specific address, but I meant that when I said you found what district she belonged to, that yeah, you can go to her apartment if you want.
Okay. Well, with that information, Lorenz, what do you think? Should we go back and regroup with everybody else?
Yeah, let's start a standard barrage of tests on these tissue samples. Or actually, we'll take the tissue samples, and if you would please run a standard barrage of tissue samples on both the mother and the baby. And while those are running, we will go and explore the place of residence, see if we can find anything there. Does the doctor have anything to say?
I missed the question. I'm sorry.
Oh, I just kind of laid out the plans that I had. We'll take some tissue samples to test out on our ship. Have them run a standard battery of tests on both the mother and the baby. And while the tests are running, we'll go and check out the mother's last known place of residence.
Okay.
After we meet up with everyone.
All right, we should have the results in about 6 hours.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So you head back to the starport?
Yep.
All right, you arrive back at the bar.
While they're on their way back, Rob,
Mm-hmm.
I want to Skype the DMV.
Skype it?
Yeah, do a video call. I'm sure video calling is the way of doing it, not telephone.
Oh,
calling.
yeah, okay. Who are you calling the DMV? The local?
Just a local DMV.
Okay. Hello, this is Charles. How can I help you?
4 hours on hold, and you finally get a hold of someone.
Yeah. Yes, this is Knight Victor Grayson. I am the attaché for Baron Mark Colombo, and we need services of the DMV.
He looks at. Yes, sir. What can the DMV do for you?
Well, it appears while we were unloading some of our cargo that one of the local transport vessels sideswiped some of our gear, and we would like to get in touch with the owner. The license plate is A3D TAC 456 TAC 94R.
All right, roll 2 dice. Your social standing or under.
Done.
Okay. It is registered to one Aventar Kearns. He lives. He lives at X address in the Avanlar district.
Not Avatar, but Avanlar.
Well, whatever. Yeah, the same district I said before.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You've been of great assistance.
You're welcome, sir.
So I call for an Uber to arrive at what I would assume be approximately the same time they would get back from the hospital.
Okay. When you guys get back to the bar, you see a grab taxi there, and everybody, Sir Victor, and everybody else waiting for you. Am I correct, Dwayne?
Yep, we'll be waiting outside at the starport with the Uber service.
All right.
Gentlemen, my lord, we ready?
Who's carrying me?
You can stagger. It'll be all right.
Somebody got a little overserved, did they?
He had
I'm on
two.
my 20th scotch.
He had two.
Okay. It's a 15-minute ride, and it's definitely not the good part of town.
Oh, I'm carrying my walking stick.
Gotcha. And you see, you arrived in front of this brownstone, basically.
Is the vehicle there?
Nope.
What is a brownstone?
It's a 2-story house in the city, like wall to wall. This one particular one has 4 apartment units in it.
New York style.
Hey, Mike,
Yes, sir.
can you see if you can GPS locate that vehicle?
No, because we didn't stop to try and unbrick my phone.
I throw him my handheld.
So,
I have
Victor,
a tech
there's
level
probably-
14 handheld. Don't brick it.
so there's two things that we probably would want to do. Since you've provided a name and address to this, we should probably cross-reference to see if the person that owns the vehicle is actually the guy that I saw in the
He was in
video.
a ski mask.
Oh, that's right. It was a dude in a ski mask. We didn't see much of anything.
No, that's why I wanted to search the vehicle before we go beating on the house.
Right.
So
Okay.
I tossed you my tech level 14 handheld.
Okay. And I'll make my roll for it.
Careful, it's got a clean IP. Or a clean MAC address is what it would probably be.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing exactly?
I've already forgotten. What was it we were looking for, Dwayne?
GPS, OnStar.
GPS.
OnStar equivalent in the 34th century for the vehicle location.
Okay, so they gave you, no, I said it verbally, but I'm going to assume that they give it to you, also give you a data packet with it, which will have their VIN number. And with that, a 12 will do it, 10 or better. It's a difficult path, but yes, you hack into their OnStar and it's disabled. It's not picking up anything.
Disabled or not picking up anything?
Well,
The GPS unit on the vehicle's been disabled.
yes, it's not picking up anything, and the immediate conclusion when they have that anybody who doesn't want to be found, normally they're tamper-proof technically, but of course with a high enough skill,
You can get around it.
you can
So
get
where
around
did it last shut off?
in front of this house.
How long ago?
24 hours ago. About 20 minutes prior to the lady being dropped off in front of the house.
Look around. Is there any security cameras, traffic cams, ATMs, business cameras?
There are 2, Both of them are at bad angles.
Are there
Oh,
any
wait a minute.
cameras-
You know what?
This is
No,
an
hold
Imperial.
on.
This is an Imperial thing. They'd have satellite coverage.
You know what? they got an Imperial. They got a camera in front of the house.
Are there any cameras inside the house?
Well,
They got a perfectly situated camera.
Hey,
What I just rolled there is your task difficulty. So don't roll. So you can you don't have to roll. Given Carl's computer skill, you just download the footage. So you see 24 hours ago. And I'll explain what I did in 24 hours ago. You see the van, the grab van, parked in front of the car, and you see a beater come up, and the guy pulls out, and he's not wearing a ski mask, and I don't have a good picture for him to use. Oh yeah, I do. I'll pull it up in a second. Anyway, he pulls the woman out of the car. She doesn't appear as pregnant. And you see him work for 5 minutes while she's like writhing and playing on the street. And it's the dead of night, which is consistent with the time that she was dropped off. And you see him expertly break into the van. He's obviously a pro. And he steals the van and puts her in there.
so what's the plate and stuff on the beater?
a stolen car to a stolen car. Or is the beater still sitting
And he's not wearing a mask, so you could facial recognize. You could do facial recognition on him.
Yeah.
Let's see that science stuff.
Is the beater car still there?
Yeah, it's down the street. You see the beater car parked.
Right where the camera said it would be?
Yeah, after he put her as he broke into the van, put her there, you see him drive off, and you see it just down the street.
Can we get any prints or DNA from the beater car?
Mm-hmm.
That would be Lorenz's job.
Yeah.
All right, make a medical roll, 8 or better.
Done.
Look at that. Columbo's
Okay.
all over it. He's got his cigar out.
I linked him a Columbo video too.
I did too.
All right, look at your Discord.
Look at us. We're solving this case at Ricky Tick speed.
Well, we better hurry. We only got 10 more minutes.
And I'm the only one carrying a weapon.
I mean, I'm putting additional detail so you can understand the context.
All right.
That poor guy didn't know what he was getting into when he got involved with us.
Poor Sap.
Well, it kind of makes sense. I mean, we're like an elite team.
Absolutely.
It's like watching an episode of The Unit.
It is. Although we haven't had any use for the belter yet.
No.
I guess he could dig us a tunnel
There you go.
underneath
You
the
can
brownstone.
extrapolate. If you want to extrapolate a bit more, I'll roll along with.
All right. Guys, it's a tumor. So, examining this material left behind in the beater, it looks like it's cancerous tumors. Normally, when you get a material sample of tumors, it's sort of small, flaky, maybe like dry material. When you get material from a location from a Dago, but this This is like gobs of material that almost looks like it was still growing when it started drying out.
So you
kinda
didn't get the guy's DNA. You're in there collecting vaginal samples.
No,
No, it's the dude, but he may be a wad of cancer right now.
It's the Deadpool.
Or the X-Files where that one dude had to eat cancer to stay alive.
Yeah.
Any idea on the guy from the facial? Looking
Well,
over
let's try and
my
do a facial. Rick.
giggity.
You don't get detected, but you don't pull up anything.
So nothing
On the
in
guy.
research for this guy.
On facial recognition? Oh,
Run his DNA against hospital records.
no, wait a minute. No. You're doing a general street search. Okay, I got it.
You guys both have visiting doctor privileges. Remote into the hospital and compare the DNA to any hospital records.
You find him as, his name is Javar Valenti. He lives in the Barstow district, which is solidly middle class, white collar worker kind of deal. And you pull up his personal profile. He looks like to be a he's basically a computer engineer, contract basis. And he doesn't work for a specific company. You find his Starlink page, and he's currently not available for contracts. But you check out his reviews. You see a lot of people are happy with him, and he works on biomedical equipment. This seemed to be his primary focus.
Let's go pay this house a visit.
Well, actually, I like Victor's idea. We should run. Lorenz, you should.
Oh, you have his address too, by the way.
And check to see if he's really got cancer.
Yeah,
Like,
run
what's
you
going
got his
on there?
DNA, and you have visitor access to the database. So check and see what the hospital records say on them.
All right. Yeah, so I use my computer, my handheld computer, and remote in with my access to the hospital's database and pull up that guy's medical records.
So on a weird note here, I've rolled 6 times, and 4 times I've rolled doubles. 2 6s, 2 4s, 2 1s, 2 2s.
Where are you rolling? I don't see it.
If you scroll over my various rolls, you'll see it's 1 plus 6 plus 5.
Oh, yeah.
So my 9 there was 2 2s and a 5.
Guys,
Okay, you look at Lorenz, and he's looking irked.
according to the medical records, this guy doesn't exist. There's no records of him at all. This is like
Well, let me rephrase that. There is a standard header that every individual on the Regina gets, but there's nothing has been done. No physical checkups, no treatment, no trauma.
Dude hasn't even had a cold.
Yes. He could go in the hospital and have something treated, and it would appear on the sub record, but it's not. His master record is totally clean.
either this guy has never been sick in his life, or his records have been wiped.
Well, that leads us to 2 COAs. Either one, we go pay Victor a house call, or 2, we go back and pay the hospital a house call.
I said we go to Vic.
Now, by the way, this is not the hospital's records you're looking. This is a planetary
But
medical bed.
they have access to the hospital records. They just got clearances visiting doctors.
I know. That's why you're allowed to look at the planetary record. I'm just clarifying the scope of the records you're looking for.
Right, but I'm just saying they could actually look at the local the hospital that they were at's records and see if he's in there.
Well, theoretically, though, I mean, if this is the global thing, this would be every doctor.
Yeah,
every
it should be.
hospital
It
on
should
the
be
planet.
everything tied.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was trying to
if-
get at.
If he was currently in the hospital, there'd be a record of him currently being in
This
the
is a
hospital.
planet of 700
million.
700 million people. You know, over a dozen major cities, countless smaller towns and cities, and he has not seen one single doctor and been into one single hospital.
He's unbreakable.
So
However, in his medical record, it notes he arrived here 8 years ago. He's an immigrant.
So either we go to the hospital and find out what happened to the records, or we just go get direct answers from Victor. I'm good with either. I think William thinks that we should go talk to the guy himself, but you know how Belters are.
And so we found out that he's a computer engineer specifically working on biomedical.
He worked on other things, but his 60% of his business is biomedical equipment.
Based on those contracts, is there one company name that stands out, that's hired him more often than anybody else?
Yes.
Good call, Carl.
Outstanding move.
Oh, look at that, a genetics company. So I'm just going to do a cursory internet search on these guys. And by cursory, I mean in depth.
They are a company associated with genetics research specifically related to human growth, specifically growth deficiency. They're more into gene therapies. A kid grows up with a deficiency, born with a deficient pituitary gland. They have therapies available that they can give children, and it will restore their pituitary gland to normal operation and things like that. They have an Imperial Military Division, a small one. They're not a mega corporation or even a sector-wide corporation. And there is one thing that leaps out at you. It is also a well-known researcher named Pavro Ashram. You know how, big companies and organizations, they have a list of doctors who are with them. Well, he's one of the primary associated with them, and they don't actually work for the company. Probably for sort of a gratuity, but
All right, so the
Loren,
Coleman.
you know that guy.
Oh, how do I know him?
In fact, when you were working on the ancient base at XR 1408, you found some medical equipment that related to cellular growth and regeneration. We're not sure they were embryo chambers or regeneration chambers, but it had something to do with cellular growth. And he is one of the leading experts in the sector, and he doesn't know about Point because of the official secrets. You couldn't, while you were on the project, you could send him a message without telling him what you were doing, but hey, I got some data. I need to tell me what you think of this. And you ask him, and you never got a reply to him, but it would have arrived after you came back from break. And of course, when you came back from break, the camp.
Mm-hmm.
And
to
the
be
plot
clear,
thickens into stew.
He doesn't know about the ancient. You never told him about the ancient base. And the person in charge of the project, Tim's character, approved. Looked at the content and proved that it's not a violating any official.
All right, so going directly to him and asking about this stuff is
one problem. You see over to the right where the planet Yuri and that letter B in red? That is Imperial Research Station Beta. That's where he's currently at.
Where at? Oh, Yuri?
Yep. Yuri and that Imperial Research Beta. That's what the B means.
Ah, so he's off-world.
He is off-world.
And communication between these 2 points would be multiple days?
Communication, there is no such thing as interstellar communication. It's literally messages on a ship.
Ah.
So when you send him a communication, there was you taped your message. They put it upon a scout ship that jumped to Lysen and then started jumping to wherever. You weren't expecting a response for a month or two. Because, if it's going to take that many jumps to get to wherever he was. And at that time, he was at a hospital. He was working on Regina.
Ooh.
And it's been years since that project got scrapped, right?
Yeah, it's been 7 years.
Alright, so asking him anything is kind of out of the question, unless we want to spend the next month or so traveling there and back. So let's see what we can figure out here.
I like the Belter's idea.
Well, go and see our friend Havar.
Why don't you tell him what you think, William?
Well, I don't know which way to go.
And just 2 seconds ago, you were saying that we need to go beat this dude's door down.
Does Telarus have any ties to any of the hospitals, particularly the hospital that we were just at?
It has no ties to your hospital, but it has. They're associated with a hospital near in a better part of town. That's attached to one of the campus, one of the branches for the university.
Now, I'm not a doctor, but I am a highly educated man. It sounds like they're doing human trials without going through the process of getting approval for human trials, and they're using people that they're considered expendable, and they're using this other guy as a middleman.
Agreed.
So I say we beat the middleman until he gives out an upper man.
Can I do... I'm assuming obviously there's cameras at this upscale hospital that Telarus is attached to.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do a facial recognition using their cameras to see if I can spot our friend Javar going in and out of there?
Sure, same deal. You're using his computer?
Yeah.
Okay. You get a +2 over and above what you normally get because it's a tech level 14 computer and this is a tech level 12 society.
Okay. I'll get a +2 above whatever it is. So let's see.
So roll and add
It's
2.
a 16.
Okay. There's more. Do you want to do it here?
What do you mean?
There's nothing on. In a 10-minute search, there's nothing in the main hospital, but there are several research annexes to the place that you can also start searching with the same role, but it's going to take time. You're going to be spending a half hour here in front of this guy's house. So,
Well, it's a mobile computer. Can't we do it on the move?
you can, but you haven't moved yet.
Is there
While it's
a
running-
bar or a cafe or a donut shop across the street or a place we can get noodles?
I
There,
understand.
you pull up Regina Maps, and yes, there's all of the above. Which one you want?
No, I just want something close enough that we can still keep an eye on the house, the car, and everything else.
No, this is a residential area. There's an intersection a half mile down with a convenience store with a small 3-table eating area.
So something else we didn't look into. Was the van reported stolen?
No,
We saw footage of it being stolen out in front of this house.
nope.
So he could actually own the van.
Well, no, because
We're
Make an intelligence check, Carl.
what do you want me to do? Just
Roll 2 dice under your intelligence, equal to or under intelligence.
equal to or under. What the hell did I roll?
7.
I got a
Seven.
7 and I have an intelligence of 8.
Okay. Now that you think about it, when you were searching through the footage of the van and stuff, you noticed this morning a group of 5 individuals looking incredibly skanky and scuffy, carrying mixed sex, male and female. One of them was carrying, hugging a big paper bag, and they head up, and that's it. Nobody in or out for the last 24 hours. They were
This
just
is a
loud.
drug den, and these people are probably.
Yeah, you're kind of guessing that. So whoever owns this van is probably strung out in the building. They might notice it tomorrow,
Right.
the way these things usually go down.
My guess is that the area that we're in is unimportant to the full scope of everything because that building was probably just a random location he took somebody from.
Well, yeah. All he did was stop here and steal the vehicle that we saw. I mean, we could chase the other vehicle back further, but all it's probably going to be is to another vehicle that was stolen.
That's what I mean.
So going forward's the only way. But whether we go,
I almost say we don't even go after this guy. We go after the actual company itself.
we go find the Dr. Pavel.
He's off world.
No, just the company itself.
Go straight to Telarus.
Yeah.
But without the guy, we have nothing. We have claims.
We'd be the crazy protesters holding the signs saying
Yeah.
block the bot.
Might as well just get out our tinfoil hats now.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, even though you are Imperial nobles, there's a limit.
Yeah, we don't have any justification.
Hold on 1 second, guys.
But this isn't too far from the hooker's house either.
No, that's true. We could go there.
I don't think we'll find anything there. Like I said, I think they found somebody who was disposable.
Right.
I think the dude that's
Easily lured into a van and easily coerced into what they needed to do to get her going anyway.
yeah.
So how do you find somebody that's randomly going to buildings and taking people out?
We have his address in the mid, and he lives up in a better district.
So why don't we just go camp out his house at a donut shop?